Show us your boobs.
That's right, I am Matt Rice, slightly better looking, slightly older roommate. I don't know. I've been asked several times in the past couple of days if I know or am related to Matt Rife, and I'm like, do you fucking think that if I was related to Matt Rife, I wouldn't have already fucking told all of you? Like, of course I would have. Of course I would have. I don't really know I don't know. I just came here because I wanted to be a part of this, like, as a support group for sarcastic people. Everybody just comes down here and hangs out. Does this work? Oh, okay. Maybe it does. I took piano lessons for like 6 months, but I didn't go to any of them. I just went down by the parking lot and smoked pot, so I can't play the piano. But to this day, my mom thinks I can, so I have to come up with an excuse every time. She's like, why don't you play something? It's Christmas. And I'm like, oh, I'm drunk, Mom. I don't want to play anything. And I learned the theme from Jurassic Park. That's my go-to, because she doesn't know what it is. And she's like, what is that? And I'm like, Tchaikovsky? Number 6, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things I learned while you paid for that awesome piano lessons that you got me when I was 8. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I used to smoke pot when I was 8. I grew up in West Virginia. If you grew up in West Virginia, you probably have one relative whose first name you don't know. And I don't mean like second cousin. I mean like, you probably have an uncle, like your dad's fucking brother, and you don't know his real name. Or a second, or like a great uncle or something. Like, everybody calls him Skip. Stumpy. And you don't ever find out his real name till he dies, and you're at his funeral, and his name is never what you would expect. Today we lay to rest Francis Armedius Stumpy Jones. You're like, that's a fucking lead. How'd they get to that point? I was thinking about, like, they should make candles, like anthropology candles for West Virginia, and they should smell like West Virginia things, like make you feel like you're at home. Like coal stove and beer, or like kerosene and old rug. Pottery. It has a scent. We all know it has a smell. I made a list on my phone. It's the first time I've done that.
Woo.
So let's see here. So like I said, I'm from West Virginia, which means that my great grandfather was a coal miner. And my grandfather was a coal miner. And my dad worked at AutoZone. And I am unemployed. And that's how the state of West Virginia is going. And I think it's kind of funny that you bring up that West Virginia is coal mines. And then people are like, oh, you guys have coal mines, like they're not from here. And I'm like, I have never seen a coal mine open in 38 years. I have only seen them close. And people are like, well, what else does West Virginia have? I'm like, tourism. But we fucked that up with the coal mine. So it would probably be a lot better if we wouldn't have chopped the top off of the mountains that are the scenery that we use now. So, all right. You ever have a couple break up because of something you do or say?
Woo.
It happened to me one time. And like, they said it wasn't my fault, but I think that's just because my parents were trying to be nice. Like, I believe my mom, but like, I'm pretty sure my dad, if he was honest, he was like, it's all your fault. And we were fine. We used to go do stuff. Nah, you ruined everything. So I had a friend that is from Massachusetts, and he told me that in the 6th grade, he learned how to buy and manage stocks. And he learned that at school. And I told him, I'm from West Virginia. In 6th grade, I learned how to square dance.
Oh.
And he was like, well, did you sign up for that? And I was like, no, that was a part of the curriculum. So nowadays, when I'm a little short on my electric bill, I just do a little do-si-do. And then they turn my fucking lights out. So yeah, I had to point out to him though that West Virginia is like, we like to hover in the lower 48 states as far as education and quality of life and employment. And we do lead the nation in one thing. I don't know if you guys know this. Woo! West Virginia, #1 at people leaving. We are #1 in the country of people being like, that's enough, and leaving. So a friend of mine asked me why I pick on white people so much. And I had to explain to him, and okay, let me clarify real quick. I'm not being racial, and I'm not talking about like white people. I'm talking about like matching pajamas, white people, like for Christmas. I'm talking about like people you can tell were conceived missionary position, like they're real white. And the reason I do is because before Columbus came to America, syphilis only existed in llamas. Take all the time you need with that.
That's right.
It was 100% the only creatures on the planet were llamas, and then that boat got here, people had syphilis. So when I pick on white people, that's the one I use to explain why. Because, you know, Benjamin Franklin ended up with syphilis all these years later, so I don't think he got it from a llama. I think we all know where he got it. He had more dead teenage associates than Bruce fucking Wayne. Alright, so I drove by the porno store up here the other day, and it's called Romeo and Juliet. And I'm pretty sure the person that named that store has never seen Romeo and Juliet. Because if they had, I don't think they would have named their porno store after a 14 and 16-year-old who only knew each other for 3 days and then killed themselves about it. I don't know. I feel like you could at least watch the movie and be like, we're not going to name it that. All right, see what else I got here. Do you guys see that painting of that glass right back there?
Woo!
Is it half full or half empty? Anyway, ponder that on your own time. So I was thinking about funny things that I had done when I was a kid that made me want to do stand-up comedy. And one of those things was I was at a family reunion one time, and I started a Jerry. Yeah. And it happened just like that too, Lana. I had two aunts. I had two aunts that decided they were going to fight, and then I decided that since I was 12, and it was the mid to late 90s, that I was going to start chanting, Jerry. And my uncle, he likes to start shit too, he hears me and he starts chanting along, and then before we know it, we are surrounding one of those jungle gym things, and my aunts are fighting inside like some kind of makeshift octagon, and the cops showed up. And I don't know how to explain the feeling of seeing your whole family in full Jerry Springer chanting while two of your aunts fist fight each other on a playground, but we are never allowed back at Granville Park to this day. And that's actually a true story. And the second one real quick about wanting to be a stand-up comedian. I was a junior in high school. It was early in the morning. And the teacher brought the TV in, and I was like, cool, it's going to be one of those TV days. And I started making jokes, and she was like, Jack, please have a seat. Just relax. And I start doing shtick. I start doing comedy, and she's like, Jack, please have a seat. And then I start kind of roasting her, and everybody's laughing and having a good time. And she's like, Jack, sit down. And she turned on the TV, and the second plane hit the tower.
All right, that's it.